a kick into the past. Liverpool in the 1700s is not the polished cultural waterfront or the musical mecca that we recognize today. Forget the paved promenades and the Beatles statues. We are dropping directly into a burgeoning beast of a town, rapidly transforming from a minor port into the trading capital of the world. The air here is thick, choking on the heavy smoke of coal fires and the sharp, overwhelming tang of the Mersey's salt spray. This is a place where the population is swelling by the decade, creating a dense, chaotic hive of sailors, merchants, and builders, desperate for their cut of the Atlantic wealth. Today, through the power of AI technology, we are going to erase the layers of modern time to walk these muddy, dangerous cobblestones once again, right as history is being forged. The heart of the city. We are standing now at the edge of the old dock, the pulsating heart of this rapidly expanding beast. This isn't merely a feat of engineering. It is the economic artery that is beginning to feed the entire British Empire. Before this wet dock, the world's first ships risked breaking their backs on the mud at low tide. But now, massive gates hold the water back, keeping the vessels afloat and creating a relentless machine of commerce that runs day and night. Close your eyes and let the sensory overload hit you. The air here is heavy and aggressive, a thick cocktail of melting tar, raw muscovado sugar, damp hemp, and the biting salt of the Irish Sea. The noise is a wall of sound, the deep groan of timber hulls rubbing against stone, the clattering of iron chains, and the shouts of stevedores arguing over hogsheads of tobacco. But keep your wits about you, because this dockside is a theater of extreme danger. It is crowded, slippery, and unforgiving. One wrong step sends you under the crushing weight of a swinging crate or into the dark, oily water below. And the threats aren't just physical accidents. Press gangs roam these very quays, looking for sturdy men to club over the head and drag onto His Majesty's warships, never to see this city again. This is the engine of wealth, but it is fueled by fear and broken backs. The historical turning point, but the true turning point. The moment Liverpool decides its destiny isn't a sudden fire or a plague. It is a deliberate, violent surgery on the city's own silhouette. We are standing at the top of Lord Street, witnessing the final days of the massive, brooding Liverpool castle. For 500 years, this fortress dominated the skyline, a symbol of feudal power and military might. But in this new century of aggressive commerce, history is seen as nothing more than an obstacle. Watch as the workmen swing their sledgehammers, dismantling the ancient sandstone walls block by block. The air is filled with the dust of centuries. There is a ruthless efficiency here that defines the era. These stones aren't just being cleared, they are being cannibalized. We see carts hauling the castle's rubble down to the water's edge, dumping the debris into the river to form the foundations of the new, wet docks. The fortress of war is literally being dissolved to build the fortress of trade. Where the castle's tower once cast a long shadow, a new, elegant church saint. George's rises from the dust. The medieval military town has vanished, and in its place, a modern commercial empire built of brick and ambition has taken root. The city has sold its past to purchase its future. the clash of eras. It is disorienting, almost hallucination. Inducing to stand right here in the middle of what you know as the Liverpool 1 shopping district. You are likely surrounded by gleaming glass storefronts, teenagers filming videos on their phones, and the scent of expensive coffee. But freeze that image for a second. Let's peel back the sleek pavement and the polished tiles. It is hard to believe that the very ground beneath your designer sneakers where you stand comfortably today was once the site of the original pool, the muddy, stagnant inlet that gave this city its name. 300 years ago, you wouldn't be browsing for fast fashion. You would be wading through a marshy, pestilent bog on the edge of the town. Where the modern cinema complex stands today, there were rope walks and boiling tar houses choking the air with black smoke. The contrast is violent. Today, this space is designed for leisure and consumption, sterilized and safe. But back then, it was a place of raw production and survival. The ambient hum of the modern city, the electric buses, the distant music feels almost sterile compared to the visceral reality of the past. We have traded the smell of wet hemp and the shouting of shipwrights for the beep of card machines standing on top of history without ever feeling its pulse. The hidden corners of society. Let's turn our backs on the wealthy merchants in their powdered wigs and descend literally into the suffocating reality of the common people. We are squeezing ourselves into one of the infamous cellar dwellings near the waterfront, damp, windowless caves dug right under the street. It is pitch black down here, save for a single tallow candle that struggles to stay lit in the stale air. This is where the people who actually build the ships and load the cargo sleep, huddled together on piles of dirty straw. They aren't feasting on the exotic spices arriving at the docks. Tonight, they are scraping the bottom of a pot of lobscouse, a thick gray stew made from cheap salted meat and ship's biscuit, washing it down with rough, fiery gin just to numb the cold. Their greatest fear isn't a bad trade deal. It is the terrifying prospect of the fever that breeds in these damp walls or the looming shadow of the poorhouse if they break a limb and can't work. We have to acknowledge the brutal truth. This city is rising to global dominance, not just on stone and gold, but on the backs, the sweat, and the silent suffering of these forgotten families. Reflection and conclusion. As the digital mist begins to swirl and the modern skyline of steel and glass reassembles itself around us, take a moment to look down at your feet. We are walking directly on the echoes of the past. History does not simply die, it is waiting right there, trapped just beneath this layer of asphalt and concrete. The frantic energy of the 18th century, the shouting sailors, the smell of the sugar, the ambition didn't disappear. It just evolved into the city we see today. Now I have a question for you to chew on. After seeing the mud, smelling the raw sewage, and feeling the brutal hardness of life in the 1700s, would you actually dare to trade your modern comforts to survive here for just 24 hours? Or are some eras better left as stories? The time machine is already fueling up for its next jump. Where should we go? Which lost empire or gritty industrial town should we resurrect next? Drop the name of the city and the specific year in the comments below, and I will build it for you. Thank you for joining me, and to the AI technology that allowed us to bridge the gap between the living and the ghosts of our past. See you in the next era.